In today's story, we see a plot to kill Paul. Speaking of plots, I have some plots of famous films, Disney films to be exact. I'll read them out and you have to guess what they were from. Now, you might want to pause between each one as I will give the answer after saying the plot. So here we go, the first one. A fearless princess goes on a journey to find her strange sister who has trapped the kingdom in an eternal winter. And the answer is Frozen. Number 2. A rebellious 16-year-old girl is fascinated with life on land. She meets a prince and makes a dangerous deal that could mean she loses her home and the prince. And the answer is The Little Mermaid. Number 3. A stepmother orders for her stepdaughter to be killed. The daughter gets away and ends up living with 7 other people. And the answer is Snow White. Number 4. A king has a son, but his uncle wants to kill them both so that he can have the throne. The uncle kills the father, but the son runs away, thinking it is his fault. He later returns with new friends to take back the throne. And the answer is The Lion King. Number 5. An arrogant prince is turned into a monster. He must find true love to change himself back before a flower dies. And the answer is Beauty and the Beast. And the final one, an adventurous teenager goes on a boat trip to save her people. And the answer is Moana. The villains in the movies always have a secret plot, and sometimes the heroes don't realise danger is coming. Being a Christian has its risks as well, as we see with Paul in our story today. However, having a relationship with God is worth it, because he helps us to do the work he has called us to do. 6 days ago, a young man encountered more than 40 men involved in a plot to kill Paul. He received instructions from his uncle to counter this. He met the commander to divulge this plot. He has earned the gratitude of his uncle. We were able to get an interview with him, but he has had to keep his identity hidden for safety reasons. Let's find out what happened.
Let me introduce myself. Actually, my name is not important, but you might know one of my relatives. My uncle is Saul, although you probably know him under the name he now goes by, Paul.
Now, I am learning how to be a good follower of God. I'm doing my training, and one day I hope to be a religious teacher. As I was finishing my day, I heard some men enter and talk to the other priests. They had made a vow, a promise that they wouldn't eat until my uncle was dead, and they were willing to kill him. They wanted the priests to arrange a meeting. They would capture him on the way. It was a simple plan. They were going to kill my uncle.
I didn't know what to do. He is family, and Mum says family is important, even if we don't always agree with each other.
It was my turn to take the food to Paul. If family or friends don't give prisoners food, then they don't eat. When you're in prison, you're just as likely to die of starvation than anything else. So I took the bread and water to the prison and gave it to my uncle. I stood there, unsure of what to do, but as soon as I saw him, I told him all that I had heard. He used to go after the followers of Jesus, and now he is one himself.
Anyway, Paul called one of the centurions who took me to the commander, and I told him everything I knew about the plot to kill my uncle. Fortunately, he believed me and told me not to tell anyone. That way, they wouldn't try to do something else. Actually, I suppose I shouldn't be telling you.
We have heard that Paul is currently on trial. Hopefully, after probably telling us too much, his nephew will survive too. So, from all of us, go in peace.
In our story today, Paul is not the most popular person in the world. In fact, 40 people are conspiring together to try and kill him. because they don't like what he's doing, they don't like the things he's saying. So Paul sends a young boy out to tell the Romans about this plot, about these people who want to have him killed. So this boy nervously goes to the court and he explains to them that the Sanhedrin are plotting to kill Paul. And he explains to them that a group of more than 40 of them are planning to have him killed the moment that he leaves. See, when we see injustices, we should speak up. It would be wrong if we didn't. This is a message which is really relevant at the moment. At the minute there are protests, there are riots going on, because there are groups of people who feel that there are huge injustices going on in the world, and who moreover feel that people are seeing these injustices and aren't speaking up about them.
But the point we wanted to make was that when we see injustices in the world, we shouldn't be silent. We need to speak out. We need to be open about these things. And very rarely, if ever, is there an appropriate or right time to be silent about injustices. So that's what we want you to think about today. When should you be silent and when should you speak out? What should you speak out about? What are the things which sometimes we say silent about, which actually we should be loud about?
And one of those things is our Christian faith. Sometimes we stay quiet because we're worried about what others might think, we're worried about looking abnormal. But actually, when the opportunity arises, we should be really open about our faith, because it's really important that we share the good news, that we tell people that they're loved by God, that God isn't angry at them, but actually he wants to save them. And this opportunity we have to share that good news, while it may seem weird and sometimes may feel awkward, it's actually really beautiful. Like many other injustices in the world, it would be horrible if people didn't know that they were loved. It would be horrible if we didn't share this good news. Just like all the other injustices which we sometimes feel awkward about speaking out about. We need to be open and honest and tell people what we believe is true. Speak out against injustice and tell people that they are loved.
This week, we thought we could make a megaphone as a prayer activity. All you need is a piece of paper and some sellotape. Here's one I have made. Now, you could also decorate yours. And once you've made it, try it out and think about how we could do with more confidence to speak out about God, telling people things like, God is good. Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you that you are a good God. And please give us the confidence to be able to speak out and tell others of what a great God you are and how much you love them. Amen.